Every mechanism on the wall represents a blind box. As long as you press it, a random item will appear. As small as a pair of chopsticks. As large as a big, but filling the whole room. I don't know who is playing with him. He must fight back. Since this blind box is so powerful, then I will press the same switch hard. He doesn't believe the same chopsticks can keep appearing. The man decided not to leave it empty and vowed not to give up. He is getting more and more tired. The chopsticks are increasing. Pressing makes him a bit hungry. The nearby must be food. He thinks he is really smart. Where has he ever suffered this kind of grievance? Angrily slapped the switch on the wall. With the appearance of a butt. He no longer wants to eat. He has been trapped here for a day. Many blind boxes have opened, but none are useful. He is so tired he can't stand up. He even wants to die. He angrily threw away the balloon in his hand. Accidentally smashed the switch. The thing that flew out caught his eye. After looking for food for so long, it came effortlessly. Looking at the sushi on the ground, saliva started to flow. Taking a closer look, there is no soy sauce. Without soy sauce, it can't be eaten. So he began the plan to find soy sauce. He pressed the button nearby. The result was still sushi. There was no way but to force himself to eat it. He ate it all dipped in saliva. Still not full. Let's have 2 more. As a result, with a whoosh, a bottle of soy sauce flew out. Lying around bored, pressed a button casually, a pair of glasses fell off. After putting them on, he saw a different switch on the wall. He immediately began to dance with joy. A way out was found. He hasn't had enough fun yet. Such a trial is too weak. As the switch was pressed, the whole room fell into darkness. A red countdown appeared on the wall. At this moment, he felt something was wrong and pressed the switch wildly. At this moment, he felt something was wrong and pressed the switch wildly. Want to stop the countdown, but no response. Countdown ends. He looks up at a huge butt. At this moment, the man has figured it out. The blind boxes here are all traps. He no longer cares what he can open. Focusing on reading comics is the way. Finished episode 5, press the switch. Out comes episode 7. Try again, episode 8, episode 9. Damn, why is there no episode 6? He decides to keep looking. A door appears behind him, but he doesn't notice. As the door closes, he is still thinking about episode 6. He suddenly realizes. Turns back to find the switch, but doesn't remember which one it is. Then just press a random one. A black shadow flashes before his eyes, then disappears into the wall. Next, try the next one. The exit is in front. The next one must be a door. Finally found the right switch. This excites him greatly. He got up and ran to the door. Who knew the switch popped up? The door closed automatically. Then run fast again. Still missed it. Use feet to help run. Just 1 meter short. Fly swatter again. Still 1 meter short. The door seemed to be joking with him. Always 1 meter short. 2 legs not fast enough. Then use 4 wheels. Looking at the switch in front of him, his brain worked frantically. With his relentless efforts. Finally found a new bug. Just press down the bottle. Isn't that enough? But the bottle wasn't heavy enough. Still would pop up. Brainstorming started again. Just fill the bottle with water. Isn't that enough? Who would have thought the water in the sky only cared about his head? Trying every method, changed countless positions. The water that went in wasn't even enough for the potted plant to drink. If water doesn't work, then use sushi. Spent 2 hours finally filling the bottle. An awkward situation arose. He couldn't move the jar. Could only take out a part by hand. As a result, his hand couldn't even fit in. Looking at a pile of chopsticks in the corner. Took out a pair and started to continue. Spent another hour picking up sushi one by one. Finally, it could be moved. 3 hours of busyness. He was nearly going mad. Then he forgot which switch was the door. So he just randomly pressed one to try. As a result, out came a primitive tribe person. They stared at each other, not knowing what happened. Then the primitive tribe person went back. He was already on the edge of a breakdown, grabbed Sushi and pressed towards the switch. With his chaotic movements, the switch got covered. Scraped off the rice, used tape to stick the switch. Unexpectedly, a miracle happened. The tape wasn't punctured. He excitedly ran to the door. The mental torture had already caused him to show signs of madness. Due to escape instinct, he then covered, with iron plates taped very far. The iron plate was still pried open. The door even hit its own, but he started to slack off. There is food and drink here. Why go out? Waking up, he casually pressed a switch. A rope appeared out of thin air. Escape hope reignited again. Isn't it just to swing over with the rope? He hurriedly acted, grabbed the rope, kicked the switch. He successfully entered the room, finally able to go out. But the door couldn't be opened. Looking down. Needs a key to work. He kicked the wall. A key appeared out of thin air. Preparing to take the key, but it disappeared again. He turned back to look for the switch, but didn't know which one it was. Just try one. Try again. Finally found it. An awkward thing appeared again. The rope can't reach the key at all. See the plunger on the ground. The brainstorming starts again. Summon the rope. Stick to the wall. Get the key. Step on the switch. The action is seamless. Finally can leave. Although a bit complicated, it is relatively simple, right? No matter how hard I try, the door just won't open. Looking up, there is another code lock. He picks up the plunger to vent his dissatisfaction. The primitive tribesman is summoned again. This confuses him a lot. Isn't this going to hit him? After the primitive tribesman leaves, he suddenly thinks, isn't that the code on his head? Open the code lock. The door finally opens. But an awkward thing happened. He actually got caught in the door. Now he can't go out or go back. Can only sit on the ground reminiscing about life in the room. Although alone, but there's food and drink, can do anything. Now it's good. Nothing can be done. Suddenly a gust of wind blew. He looked at the door gap. He pulled it casually. Hoping for a return, the passage seemed endless. He ran for an unknown time, finally reaching the end. Here is a room larger than the previous one, and a switch that has grown a bit. He pressed the switch on the wall. There was no change in the room, but supernatural events occurred in the real world. The boxer stopped boxing, changed to striking the bell. The singer stopped singing, changed to breathing fire. There was no change in the room, only a light spot on the ground. He looked up. The way out was above. There were angels flying in the sky, so he climbed up using the switch. Every time he touched the switch, the real world would undergo a change. Thus he kept climbing up. Not knowing how long it has been, the beard has also grown. The changes outside have also become larger. Unconsciously, he has started to fly. With a casual wave, large patches of buttons were activated. The earth is almost destroyed because of him. In the end, he was surrounded by a feather. He arrived at the third room. There is only a three-dimensional world map here. There is also a huge switch. He slowly walked over. The last switch is left for the audience's imagination. What can such a big switch do?